What is going on today, guys? And today in this video I'm going to be playing some TCG Card Shop, as you guys can see, and I also will be showing you guys some tips and tricks that you guys may not know. All right, for tip number one, if you guys do not have a workbench, I recommend getting a workbench. This will make you some extra money if you guys are unaware. But if you guys are wondering what the workbench does, it takes a bunch of duplicate cards that you have and puts them into one bulk box, and you will be able to sell the bulk box. As you guys can see right over here, I have a bunch of them for sale. All you want to do is go to your workbench, and then you want to set whatever cards you want to use to be able to put into a bulk box. And all you got to do is click bundle. As you guys can see, it is bundling it up right here. And if you guys are unaware, I know a lot of people are unaware of this, you are actually able to put the cards on the workbench itself to be able to store cards like this. Now, for tip number two, for anyone that is unaware of this, I recommend you keep around at least like 2 or 3 empty boxes, just like this, as you guys can see here. And if you guys want to rearrange stuff, you are actually able to put items in empty boxes just like this, as you guys can see, and you are actually able to put them in and store them if you want, or just move items around. That is in case you want to move your store, rearrange your store, stuff like that. Or also what you could do is with your workbench and all your bulk cards like this, you are actually able to store them in a box just like this, and you can put them on your storage shelf. And yeah, it is always very handy to have a couple empty boxes laying around your store at all times. All right, so the next tip, this was recently added not too long ago, but if you go into your settings right here, you are actually able to change the speed of how fast you want to open your packs. As you guys can see, the slider is right here. So if you guys are tired of opening your packs very slow, you can actually boost your speed all the way up. And this is what it looks like right here. Let's just take a handful of packs here and just rip them. Boom, just like that. Simple, easy. It is so much quicker than what it used to be. It used to be one slow card at a time, just like this. But as you guys can see, it is very fast now, and it takes no time to open packs. I do wish it would be just a little bit quicker, but it is pretty good compared to what it used to be. Now, if you guys are unaware of this, as you guys can see, we have a stink ass coming to our shop. Now, if you guys are unaware, stinky people can make people leave your store without buying anything, or just make them leave anytime they want. So you want to always make sure that you always have some type of air freshener on hand, or some type of cleaning machine just like this, in order to keep the stank people away from your store. Now, if you guys have just unlocked your first air freshener machine, whatever it is that you want to call it, it is these big things right here. As you guys can see, these things. Now, if you guys just unlocked these, I recommend putting them just like this, if you can. That way, stack them together, put some air fresheners in here. And when people walk in your store, they can't take a left right here. They have to walk in a straight line, then take a left. That way, the air freshener will hit these guys and completely clean them. Now, you do need 2 of these in order to completely cleanse one person, so keep that in mind. This is a decent way of doing this if you want. Now, you do not have to do this. You could split these up if you would like to. You can have it like this if you want. It's just the person has to walk by it in order for it to spray them. Now, when you get the second shop unlocked, which is this storage second shop, whatever it is you want to call it, you could put machines on the other side of the wall just like this. And when they walk in your store, your machines over there will spray them through the wall. That way you won't have to all this blocking up your store. That way you can have this as this open room all right here. Now, another good tip for when you are starting out and when you are running the cash register machine yourself, this can be very annoying if you do not do this, is what you want to do is you want to round your prices. As you guys can see here, this is what it normally looks like. If you guys do it like this, the average price of this is $31.61. Now, if you do not want the cents on there, now what you want to do is set your price however you want it. And after you do that, you click the button round and it will take the cents off of there. That way you won't have to dealing with change. Now you will have to give them dollars back, but you won't have to worry about doing the actual coins, because this is very annoying and very time consuming. And it even is time consuming for the employees that you hire. And it also requires them to take up more time that they could be checking out another customer. Now, if you guys are unaware of this, when you expand your shop, let's go to expand the shop here. Every time you expand your shop, your rent price will go up every time you expand your shop, even just by one. So keep that in mind. Do not expand too early when you don't really have the money to expand. Because as I said, if you expand, your rent will go up, your electricity bill will go up. So keep that in mind. When you unlock Shop B, this is what Shop B is. It is basically another store connected to the store you already have. Now, you could do anything you want in this other side over here. Now, I use it as a storage room / card playing room, as you guys can see. I want to expand this a little bit more to be able to put some more tables in here for people to play on. But you could do the same thing as you can over here. You can place shelves or anything you want over here also. But you can also stop people from entering. If you guys don't want them to be entering over here, you could flip this sign and it will stop them from coming over here. Now I'm sure some of you guys are wondering, where's your card table at? Why don't you have a card table set out to sell single cards? Well, the answer to that is I do when I have enough cards to sell to be able to put on the table that is at least worth over $100 some. But I do have one, as you guys can see. I just have it sitting in the back room. Now, the exact reason why I do not have a card table set out, because when you put a card table out, this is what I have noticed. Some people may have noticed something different, or it may work different for them, but this is how it works for me. When you have a card table out, there are people that will come in and buy like maybe 1 or 2 single cards that may not be worth a lot of money. Say like you're putting like $10, $5 cards up, and they buy that single card and then they go cash out and then they leave. If you do not have this card table, they will be more than likely to buy multiple items that is worth more than the card you have set up for sale. That is why I don't really use a card table. Not unless I have some cards that are very high price, just like this, which I'm not really selling these high price cards because I'm trying to collect them. But as you guys can see, if they're worth like $200 some and I have duplicates, I will sell the duplicates just like this. I have 3 of these. I would sell 2 of these, but there's really no need to right now because I am making decent money on all the stuff that I already have. Now, the next tip, I have seen some people unaware of this, so I'm going to show you guys anyway. You guys might already know this, but I know there are a lot of people that don't really know that you can do this. Say, as you guys can see, I have a card table right here. I'm going to open my binder and say I want to put a card up here for sale. Instead of just clicking on the individual card, just like this, all you have to do is you can right click on your mouse and you can pick as many different cards as you want until your hand is full. And then you put your binder away. That guy just took that card. And then you can put them up for sale. As you guys can see, just like this. Just like that. And he took my card that didn't even have a price on it. Okay, but that's it for that tip. All right, for the next tip, for those of you who are starting out and also those of you who are pretty late in the game like me, play tables are really where your money is, if you guys are unaware of that. So you want to get as many play tables as you pretty much can in your store, at least make sure that people play on them and you don't have an overabundance of them. But also to remember to set up the events that you need in order to make a lot of money doing this. As you guys can see, I have the best event that you could possibly do. As you guys can see, it costs me $700 a day to run this event, but I am making $45 an hour per person that plays on these tables. Now, that is a lot of money. Remember, it is $45 an hour per person that are playing on these tables, as you guys can see. This is really where I make my money at. So always set up your events to the highest one that you possibly can in order to make the most amount of money. All right, next tip is I recommend having yourself a personal storage shelf, just like this. If you guys are wondering, like, what's the point of a personal storage shelf, is that you could store items that you don't want your stockers to be able to restock. Also, if you buy air freshener, you can put some air freshener up for sale. And if you don't want to put air freshener up for sale, you could just put them in your storage shelf. And as I said earlier, make sure to have an empty box laying around. And you can take your air fresheners around and put them in your machines that you need to be done, because you can only fit one in your hand for some reason. You can only carry one, but this way you could carry multiple. Just like this, and you can just take them back and put them back in your personal storage shelf. Or if you just want certain cards that you want to open, you could just put them in here and keep it for later. That way they won't be put up for sale if you have stockers or anything like that. All right, for the next tip, as you guys can see, my work shift is done. As you guys can see, there's no more people in my store besides the person over here on the table. Now, before you end the day, make sure you always get the people off of your table right here. As you guys can see, I'm getting ready to do it. Get them off the table. When you get them off the table, sometimes they will still go around your store and buy stuff. As you guys can see, this person is looking around my store and is buying stuff. So always make sure to do that before you end the day, because if you just end the day with the people still on your table, you're losing money pretty much, as you guys can see. Now, another thing, employees, if you guys are unaware, some employees will leave at 9 p.m. on the dot, but then there are some employees that will leave only when all of the customers are out of the store, like that guy walking down the street there. As you guys can see, we already just recently did that person on the recent tip. So keep that in mind when you have employees. Not all employees will stay after closing time. Now, the employee will stay if they have people in line and checks them all out, and then they will leave. But if they don't have no one in their line, they automatically leave. All right, let's move on to the next tip. Now, for the next tip, do not recruit any of, I would recommend the first 3 employees, because these employees are not good. They are all slow at what they do. Besides this guy right here, his restock speed is fast. Now, I am using him as cashier for the moment, but I will eventually upgrade. Now, I wouldn't really recommend the first 2 also. These guys are a waste of money. They are so slow at what they do, and especially at checking out people. Now, what you want is you want the fast or very fast checkout speed. And if you guys are wondering, why do you want the fast checkout speed? Because the faster you check out people, the faster they go out and then turn around and come right back in to buy more stuff, because there are only a certain amount of player models that they have and only a certain amount of people that you can have in your store. So the faster you can get them out of your store, the faster they get to come back and buy more stuff that day. So keep that in mind when you are recruiting employees. All right, next tip. As you guys can see, this is the original shelf that you get when you first start out your store. Now, I have seen a lot of people do this. It's people will have stuff, on the middle and the bottom shelf without knowing this. You can also put stuff on the top shelf. I don't know why, but this drives me crazy when I pop at people's streams and they have no idea that you could put stuff on the top shelf right here, as you guys can see. This is just a quick little tip that I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys may not know. All right, time for another little quick tip that you guys may not know. As you guys are aware that you can change the labels and the prices of items, as you guys can see here. But also, did you guys know that you can remove the labels? That is, if you do not have anything on the shelf or in the storage or anything like this. As you guys can see, it has 0. Now, all you have to do is you can hit right click to remove the label. Boom, it's gone. Ready for anything else. Now, also, another little quick tip. You can open your binder, and if you press F, you can sort by the different amounts, price amounts, different types, duplicates, everything like that. Now, there's also a lot of people that I have seen that do not know this, but you can also change your expansions to different type of expansions, as you guys can see, and also change it to Ghost, as you guys can see right here. Now, a lot of people don't know this, so I'm just throwing it in here as pretty much as a bonus tip. All right, for the last tip of the day, if you guys are unaware of this, but for the people that use cards to pay for their items, as you guys can see here, you do not need to use your mouse in order to click on the right amount. If you guys want to, you can use the number pad. As you guys can see, you can use the number pad. I'm gonna move my mouse to the middle of the screen. See, just like that. And then you hit enter, and you can cash people out that way if you guys do not want to move your mouse. As you guys can see, my mouse is right here, so I'm gonna do it again. Bam, $6. Enter, just like that. Sweet and simple. But that is pretty much it for this video. If you guys found this video helpful in any way, please make sure to hit that like button. Or if you found anything new in this video that you guys didn't know, please also hit that like button, maybe share if you guys are interested in sharing this video. But without further ado, I will talk to you guys later.